Your 263,000 in your diabetes fund. You didn't list that. It's
You,
not on. It's not on here.
wait. You asked for those specific funds.
Yeah, 929. You list as having no money.
And I have a report that shows me I don't.
I'm literally looking at Munis.
I
The funnel.
looked at Munis. I'll have to get with Pat on that because my
You wanna
report,
see it right here.
I don't need to see it right there. I'll talk to Pat when we're done.
Okay, it is 9:30 on June 28th, 2022. The Richland County Board of Commissioners are in session. I am Commissioner Vero, joined by Commissioner Banks, Commissioner Mears. We only have one of Bonnie and Clyde here today, don't we? Al from the News Journal, Health Commissioner Sarah Goodwill Humphrey, Fiscal Director of the Richland Public Health, Kevin Van Meter, who we hope his math is better than his backhand in tennis. Dr. Exton, of course, Ari Van Harlingen, members of the Richland Public Health Board, our county administrator, Andrew Keller, and our county auditor, whose name is on the gas pumps. It's such a fun time right now, Auditor Pat Dropsy. So actually, before we get started, our clerk actually brought this to our attention this morning, and maybe the health department can opine a little bit, but we do not believe via the Ohio Revised Code that the 2014 renewal, again, it was passed in 2013, can actually go on the ballot until next year after looking at ORC 5705.25. So I don't know if you guys have some thoughts, Commissioner Humphrey and media or remote land, but we do not believe with our review just yet that this issue can go on the ballot. We'll turn it over to you guys real quick, and then we'll decide where to go from there.
Sarah's trying to.
I think she's frozen. She's frozen. No,
No?
she's frozen. No, she's right there.
Yeah, I know, but probably trying to,
Yeah. She's working her way through the,
nice backyard. Wow.
It'd be fun to drink out there, huh?
there she goes.
Yes, so I guess I've not taken to that conclusion. I'd be happy to explore that if that were the case. Pat, I know that you are present. Is that I feel like 2013 would be 2023 of 10-year, the 10-year limitation, and then you can go within 3 voting cycles prior to that.
Andrew, you want to chime in? So we're gonna have our.
I'll say, so it was on the ballot in November of 2013. It was for tax year 2014 that wasn't collected till 2015. So the tax went into effect 2014.
And forgive me, and I don't have any of that levy information, but if that is the case, then duly taken, and we will postpone that. That's just that's not how some of, but I don't have any of that paperwork at my home at this point in time. So
Andrew can, so our county administrator is an attorney, Commissioner Humphrey, and him and I met with him, or we met this morning with Stacy, kind of just going over the code. So maybe he can, and he used to be the chief civil attorney in the prosecutor's office, so he's beneficial to us. So go ahead, Andrew, maybe you can speak to this a little bit.
Well,
yeah, no, I don't dispute the code at all. I was just under the impression, as everything was portrayed to me, that this fall was the first time we could run. So I definitely do not dispute the Ohio Revised Code allowance of that by any stretch. I wish I had the paperwork, but if Stacy is saying that that's how it ran, then that is definitely how it ran. And so that would give us the latitude of 1 more year. And then we don't actually have to have this conversation then until next fall.
The commissioners resolved to put this levy on the ballot in 2013, 9 years ago. And with the idea, 10-year term, with the idea that it would first be extended to the tax duplicate in year 2014, tax year 2014, and wouldn't be collected until 2015. So the 2015 was the first year of collection. So what that means, our understanding of what that means is the first year that we can resolve to renew this levy would be in 2023, and the last year would be 2024. So you do have a 2-year window to place a renewal of this 10-year levy on the ballot. And Sarah, too, if you're, if this doesn't jive with your understanding, you're always welcome to contact the prosecutor's office just to, out of an abundance of caution to verify that's how the law would apply to your particular levy, because health department levies are treated, a little bit differently than most of our countywide levies, actually.
Yeah, no, there's no dispute with that at all. There's, like I said, it's just a matter of the understanding of when exactly that levy was put into place so that the timing was right. So again, not having that in front of me, I'm going to go on the knowledge of those who were probably in position when that 2013 or 14 vote went through. So I'll take confidence in their knowledge on that history and know that, great. Hey, it's something that we can get through some of the resolution of some of the COVID pandemic before we have to worry about, securing funding for future public health emergencies and other events.
And again, if the prosecutor's office provides an opinion different than what we believe, then we'll just get you back on the agenda.
Perfect. I appreciate that.
I had so many good questions for you, Kevin, that now I'm going to have to save for.
Well, you just say it.
Oh, no, I say might as well strike while the iron's hot.
Oh,
Go
no,
for it.
I'm going to keep adding to my list. I also know the move that I'm going to be watching the capital expenses too, Mr. Van Meter. That's another move that organizations try come election time. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on it.
I get it.
So, all right, guys, let us know what you come back with. And if we're wrong, although I would most likely be wrong, Andrew's not wrong very often. So if Andrew's saying this, it's probably correct.
I can't argue with any of
Right.
that.
So let us know, either Sarah or Kevin, if you guys want to let us know, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Will do.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Guys,
Thank you.
all right, let's go through our other. Pat, you're welcome to stay and see American government at its finest, or you can walk out the door. He's walking out the door. All right, let's go over the record of proceedings. I actually have a couple amendments. Been on a roll with amendments lately, so I apologize. So if you look on page 4, Stacy, it's tape 0.16.2. It's page 4 for me. It says Carl Hurd AEP is offering assistance to residents. I presume you mean assistance to residents. And then it says the higher temperatures put stress on the grid, and there was a transmission fire. It's a transmission line. So those would be my two.
And line fire.
So those would be my two amendments. Motion there as amended.
So move. Second.
Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Motion to approve requisitions.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
The motion to approve a change order for the concrete work in the parking lot. We needed to include the bollards there so the garbage can doesn't hit the building. That would be for $1,200, and it is unfortunately an increase.
So move. Second.
Barrow,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
All right, they say third time's the charm, although I love seeing the headline with Adam Go's picture saying rejected again. I had some fun with that picture, as you can imagine. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen though, but he is asking that we advertise once again for our chip and seal program. It's been revised for reduction in miles to 9.54 miles of county roads. It'd be Plymouth Spring Mill from London West to the Plymouth corporate line, and Free Road from Planktown North to State Route 13. So as costs go up, unfortunately, the amount of roads we can some maintenance work on decreases. The estimated construction cost is 260,242.66. May we have a motion to authorize advertising for that?
So moved.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes,
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
that's it for our logistical items. Al, any questions?
Yeah, on that levy thing, it's basically what you're saying, it's too soon for them to come. I don't quite understand the logic of how that works. I know how the levies work in terms of you collect, it goes into effect 1 year and then you collect it the next year for that year, but I don't quite understand how the timing goes with that.
Andrew, take it away.
Yes, Al. So as I mentioned, this tax was first presented to voters in November of 2013. Certainly, it was last presented to voters in November of 2013 as a renewal. And it's a 10-year tax levy. So the soonest that the health board can present this renewal to voters the second time would be November of 2023, 10 years later. Ohio Revised Code section, I'm going to throw a section at you, Al. It's 5705.25. Provides that a resolution to renew and ultimately the tax levy shall not be placed in the ballot unless the question is submitted at the general election held during the last year. The tax to be renewed may be extended on the real and public utility property tax list and duplicate, or at any election held in the ensuing year. So the last year that this tax is extended is 2023. The last year, and then the ensuing year would be 2024. So the revised code places pretty strict parameters on when you can present a tax levy ballot issue to voters. And in this case, being a 10-year tax levy that was first went into effect in 2014 means that 2023 is the soonest you can present it to voters for the renewal.
So in other words, since it's a 10-year levy, you have to wait 10 years from when it was first proposed and approved to resubmit it.
That's correct. And Al, I will have to say, and partially because now this levy could have been put to the voters in 2013 or 2014. It was presented in 2013. So that's why, 2023 is the earliest. So had it been presented to voters in 2014, it still could be presented to voters in 2023 or 2024.
Okay, when is the last year of collection for this levy then? 24?
Correct.
Okay, that kind of
Exactly.
clarifies.
Exactly, because taxes are always a year in arrears. So, 2023 is the last year that it's extended to the property tax list and duplicate, but 2024 is the last year that it's collected. And it's one of those 2 years that they need to come and present this renewal to the voters. You're exactly right.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? All right, we will recess until 10 o'clock.
Do have a question, Andrew.
Oh, wait.
On the record or? Oh.
Okay, 10 o'clock, back in session, joined by our dog warden, Melissa Houghton. Pat Dropsy's still here because he loves American governance, and so he knows this is where it's at. All right, Missy, let's handle some logistical stuff first. We have someone who has resigned as our part-time deputy dog warden. That's Endicott.
Correct.
So I'll ask for a motion to accept his resignation effective July 1.
So move.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Okay, now
do you want to authorize posting that job?
let's post it as well. May we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
All right, Missy, talk to us about kennels in the North Wing.
So, as you know, we've been really full for the past probably 3-4 months. And our north wing, when the building was originally designed, that was going to be the section that housed cats. So they're small cages, which are great for our 20 and under dogs, 20 pounds and under, which we very rarely have. What I would like to do is to put kennels in there that will fit medium to large size dogs so that way we don't basically have a whole kennel. We have 4 end cages that we can put medium sized dogs in. With this plan, we would have 14 cages that we can put medium to large size dogs in. So it's not a whole wing that's basically sitting half used. It does not look like the numbers will be going down anytime soon. Nationwide, this seems to be an issue with shelters everywhere. The numbers just keep trending up. So I think that it would be very beneficial if we could get some more space for our dogs in there.
I think that's because inflation, it's getting more.
Yeah,
feed.
yeah. In 2 weeks, the dog food that I buy for my dogs went up $10 for a 35-pound bag. So, I mean, and it is, a lot of people just can't afford it. You know, they're going back to work, so they don't feel like they have time for the dog. And yeah, it seems like there's a multitude of reasons, but affordability is something that we hear frequently.
Trickle down. Economics.
So I did get an estimate from Shoreline Kennels for them to for all the material for the kennels, it would be $5,000, $35,952. For them to install, it would be $5,950. I did ask maintenance if they would be able to, and he said that he didn't think so because they had so many projects going on. So it would be a total of close to $42,000.
I did not expect that figure.
I wouldn't say I didn't expect it, but in the current market, nothing surprises me. So
That is, I did choose the less expensive option. They gave us.
you went with the less expensive
I
option?
did. I actually got a quote.
Did you Google the Jaguars of
And the dogs need
kennel upgrades?
beds to lay on. I just went, but no, we went with, they had stainless steel option or galvanized steel, and we went.
What does this look like? Does it change the footprint of the dog?
No, they would still leave. That's why I chose to go with this one. They would still leave the masonry there and the drain system that we use. They would just take down the existing kennels and rebuild the new kennels on top of the
Are there
existing.
any pictures or renderings or drawings?
He's actually coming out to the shelter tomorrow, so he would be able to give us something like that.
So let's do this. I would like to at least see what we're gonna,
Me too.
I mean, I agree. I think we need to do something, and that's just the facts. We get the bigger dogs in for logical reasons, right? But I at least would want to see what it looks like before we approve an expense of that nature, and see the quote in writing.
Okay, I do have that. I have that with me.
So hold on to that.
Mhm.
Let's get a rendition or drawing of what it'll look like.
Okay.
Unless you want to, I mean, I think
I think that
That's what I.
that's a pretty,
I'd like to see it.
It's a big ask. Yeah.
you have.
I'm gonna start calling you Jimmy Sweat.
Off the top of my head, I don't think you have much money, do you?
No, we don't. That's why it's an ask. That's why it was a definite ask.
We could do ARPA, right, Mr. Keller? Could we do ARPA for revenue loss?
we'll have to walk through the procurement hoops, but
I'm saying that's why we might just do capital projects.
how much are we talking about again?
42.
42.
1,000.
Yeah, it just depends. We'll have to walk through the procurement hoops if we do our.
All right, let's see a picture.
Okay.
Now let's talk about your next ask.
Another one?
Well, I like to combine them all at once. So I'm just up here one time. So, it's a continuation of my previous ask for the flooring. So the flooring that we originally chose, that was $5,552.50, is on back order. So he's not expecting to get that in and installed until sometimes in the fall, like September. But he has in stock for a slightly better product that he
Higher price.
slightly. It would be $6,082 for them to install that, and he could get that in July, beginning of July.
Which is how much more than,
It is don't math me. Close to $500 more. Phone out and do an exact number. Hold on.
So 6082, what was the old one?
5,552 and 50 cents.
55, 50,
Like
50.
$530. 50 cents.
Do you have that at least in your budget, or is that an ask?
Budget is very,
It is razor thin.
these are razor thin.
I'm okay with capital projects. Look, it's a little better quality. It might last longer at the end of the day, and we need to get that carpet up. So I will ask for motion that we use capital projects money to cover the additional monies to get that installed sooner rather than later. I'll ask for that motion.
No move.
Second.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
You have paperwork on that.
I do. And
Okay.
All right. Any questions, Al? Is Al even there?
Yeah, he's
Going once, going twice. We will adjourn at 10:07.
Yeah. Yeah. Why?